been in fires a lot. No matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, they're backing you, because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey, God, just get me through this. I'll be a good boy, and I'll go to church on Sunday. I'm going to take care of everything. Get me through this.
The battleground. It's very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads, convection, conduction, and radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. Now, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we get complacent and we don't keep agitating each other, and we don't keep asking the kinds of questions that we are asking here.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction, and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with, makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I think, like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
To the FDIC fire engineering family, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service.
You're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can. Take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
This award, it's a testament to a pursuit, a calling, a sharing of knowledge. We understood the phenomena of smoke movement through the stack effect, but we didn't associate that with fire behavior and the fact that if you were in a position of smoke and fire travel, you were in the barrel of a shotgun.
Mentor, train, share with everybody, make a difference. Love this job, and to anyone that doesn't, to anyone that disrespects it, show them the door.
This is a real privilege to do what we do, and it's a joy. I notice today sometimes when we get into the tactical discussions that it gets pretty bitter and nasty amongst some people. I think Bobby mentioned it this morning. Keep arguing, keep talking, but don't take it personal.
I'll never forget the sense of pride and thrill and exuberance that I feel when I see my name in fire engineering that has been published for well over 100 years. To all of you, thank you very much, and may God bless us and keep us all safe in our most noble of professions.
I'm not sure if I've met you yet, but you are out there. You might be Sam, you might be Samantha. I don't know who you are, but you are my replacement. You are the brother or sister that is stepping up to start carrying the torch.
Once again, please welcome Chief Bobby Halton and the daughter of Chief Tom Brennan, Ms. Eileen Brennan.
Now we come to the most significant tradition we have here at FDIC, the presentation of the FDIC Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Joining me on stage to help present this award is the daughter of the late Chief Tom Brennan, after whom this award is named. This moment is far and away our most important duty on this stage because it sets a standard. It renews our commitment to excellence, and it demonstrates internally and externally whom we choose to honor and remember. We believe, as President Kennedy taught us, that whom we choose to honor and remember truly defines who we are. Some might say that it's a small thing, that this award honors only one man, but we know better. From the words of St. John of Damascus, not St. John of Salka, a small thing is not small when it leads to great, and it is not small matter to forsake ancient tradition of the church that was upheld by those who were called before us, whose conduct we should observe and whose faith we should imitate. So what does it mean to be recognized with this significant ancient fire service tradition, this incredibly prestigious FDIC Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award? Certainly, as you watched the video of its past recipients, you thought, now there is the who's who of the American Fire Service for the last 70 years. Every person on that video had something that's unmistakably the essence of who we are, yet it's so elusive. Every person on that video was authentic and sincere in their passion of the fire service and at their love for its members. Authentic in a vintage sense, in that their integrity and character is self-evident and overwhelming. We are humbled by them, inspired by them, elevated by them, and grateful for them. Each and every one of them made our profession and every one of us better. The man who we honor today, Chief John Salka, is no exception. In fact, he is the rule. I've had the pleasure of knowing John for nearly 30 years. And whether we were speaking to the governor of New Mexico or a class of young company officers sitting around the table at my home in New Mexico, John was always the same man. John has a deep and sincere love of all people. Anyone is appreciated by John. He makes time and provides his full attention to everyone equally, irrespective of your position in life, your relationship to him professionally or personally, or your condition or your status in life. John will give you his full and undivided attention. John Salka epitomizes what it means to be authentic. John has provided his wisdom, his knowledge in the classroom and in numerous books and in countless articles, but most importantly, in the real world. John has fought fire and saved lives among the finest fighters in the world in one of the most iconic fire departments in America. Among the legends of that department, John Salka stands tall. If we were to have a gathering of those legendary FDNY firefighters, John would be seated at the head table, much to his chagrin and embarrassment. John does not consider himself a legend or better than anyone else. As a matter of fact, he's probably pretty pissed off at me right now for even using that word. But John is a legend, and John does stand taller. John is legendary for his honesty, his commitment, and his passion, for his willingness to stand in the breach, for his unwavering commitment to his family, to his department, to his community, and his friends. It has been a privilege and an honor to be allowed to call John Salka my friend. It has been a privilege and an honor to be allowed to be part of this much-deserved presentation. But I am not alone in my regard for Chief Salka. We received literally dozens of letters about how much John has meant to all of you, and we couldn't read them all. But here are a few comments from those who love and admire John. From the legendary FDNY Deputy Chief, retired Vince Dunn, John Salka is the last of the incident commanders of the FDNY on the lecture circuit from the war years. As a battalion chief with years of experience, John teaches about the subject of fireground command and control that company officers have never experienced but do need to know about. From John's best friend and teaching buddy, Louisville Fire Chief Rick Lasky. John, where do I begin? On the professional side, your love of the fire service is second to none and is defined on so many fronts. From the classes you teach, the hands-on training you have provided, to the mentoring you have done for so many, including me. I have no doubt whatsoever that there are countless firefighters alive today due to the fact that they were trained by Chief John Salka. Your love of the job is incredible, and there are very few who can run a fire scene like you do. On a personal side, you are all about family. You have been my mentor, my best friend, and most importantly, my brother. I am truly blessed for it all. Congratulations, brother. This is well deserved. That was from Chief Rick Lasky, John's best friend. These guys truly love each other. From Deputy Chief Jay Jonas, I have worked with John and been his friend since we went to the FDNY Proby School together in 1979. John has always strived to be better at his craft. What makes John is he also wants to make all those around him better at being firefighters. John is more than willing to sit down with anyone, anytime, and make them better at what they do. John, this award is well deserved. From his friend and the editor-in-chief of Firehouse magazine, Pete Matthews. The first house class I attended was John Salka's Get Out Alive program, and that was before I started working with Firehouse. I cannot extend my thank you for all that he has done to make firefighters safe, prepare them with the survival skills, and provide leadership advice for the current and next generation of leaders of this great American fire service. The work that Chief Salka has done through his FDNY training programs, the NIOSH programs, and the countless lives saved, he has taught countless thousands how to be a better firefighter and effective leader. Through his fire scene column in Firehouse magazine over the last 14 years, John has shared critical skills, candid observations on the last page of Firehouse magazine. From FDNY Lieutenant Mike Champo, Chief Salka has always been a forward-thinking leader and instructor. He developed the Get Out Alive program years ago, and it has saved numerous firefighters' lives. In addition to his writings over the years, have shaped and mentored numerous firefighters throughout their careers. From Chief Salka's friend, Lieutenant Chris Delicio. Chief Salka is the father of fireground survival. He planted a seed on this topic 25 years ago, and look how it has grown. He brought forward a cultural change in the fire service for the betterment of the fire service. From FDNY retired Captain Michael Dugan. John Salka is a dear friend, but also a mentor. John is willing to give of himself to make you and the fire service better. His teaching has had an enormous impact on the fire service, and we are better because of his contributions. I'm glad that he is a mentor and a friend. From Chicago Fire Department Deputy Chief, retired Steve Chikarotis, also known as Chief Walker on the NBC hit show Chicago Fire. I've always admired John as one of the greatest leaders and educators in the fire service today. He has saved countless lives through his actions, his leadership, and the lessons he has shared. John is also an actor. A few years ago, we were honored to have John do a cameo role on the hit show Chicago Fire, where he played FDNY Battalion Chief John Salka. Surprisingly, he was very believable in that role. Nobody is more deserving of the Lifetime Achievement Award than Chief John Salka. I am proud to call him my friend. We had literally hundreds of other letters. I'd like to just give you John's quick official bio now. And believe me, we shortened this from, it looked like Tolstoy wrote it. John Salka has served with the FDNY for 33 years, the last 15 as a battalion chief and commander in the 18th Battalion. Prior to the 18th Battalion, he served in the FDNY's busiest and most active units. His tenure as an officer in the department included instructing at the Probationary Fire School, the Captain's Management Program, and the Battalion Chief's Command and Control Course. Chief Salka was decorated for bravery many, many times over his 30-plus year career with the FDNY. He served as part of the Incident Command Team at the World Trade Center September 11th and the weeks and months that followed after. Chief Salka is a contributing editor of Firehouse magazine, and he serves on the Firehouse Expo Advisory Board. and has been published in Fire Engineering and several other industry publications. In addition to his writing, he has been lecturing and presenting training seminars for over 30 years. He was awarded the Fire Engineering FDIC Training Achievement Award in 2001 and was inducted into Firehouse Magazine Hall of Fame in 2019. He's the author of the best-selling books First In and Last Out, Leadership Lessons from the New York City Fire Department, The Engine Company, 5-Alarm Leadership, From the Firehouse to the Fireground, and his leadership lessons are the subject of his most recent articles and corporate lectures. Chief Salka is the co-host for the podcast The Command Post on fireengineering.com and Old School, heard on iTunes. Chief Salka has also served as a volunteer firefighter throughout his entire career and currently serves as the chief of the South Blooming Grove Fire District in Orange County, New York. John and his wife, Dawn, have been married for over 40 years and are the proud parents of 5 children: John, James, Maureen, Brian, and Colleen, and 2 beautiful grandchildren. The Salka family is joining us for this moment of recognition, and we'd like to have Colleen come out for a moment here. Maureen, come on up first before your dad. I would like Chief Lasky to please come up also, if you wouldn't mind, sir. Before we bring up the man of the moment, let's please recognize the Salka family for their contribution. I just want this to last forever. It is absolutely my absolute joy, honor, and privilege to introduce to you the 2022 Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award winner, the legendary Chief John Salka.
Thank you, Bobby. First, for all you do for everybody in this room and everything you've done for me. Eileen, thank you for being here in your dad's name. She's wonderful. I'd like to first thank my family, Dawn, my wife, my children, as Bobby just said, Johnny, James, Maureen, Brian, Colleen, my 3 daughters-in-laws, my grandchildren, one who is here, maybe 1.5 is here actually, I think, but who are my first, my family is my first lifetime achievement. To Bobby, Diane, and Ginger, and of course there are many other folks with fire engineering, thank you first, of course, for this great show, which we all enjoy every year, and of course the honor of receiving the Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award. Boy, when you say the name Tom Brennan, this award is probably the most appropriately and deservingly named award. If you knew him, Tom Brennan was an FDNY legend, and that is not an easy accomplishment in my beloved FDNY. He was a leader, a mentor, a teacher, a boss. He set the tone in every company he worked in. His impact on the American Fire Service is, has been, and will continue to be simply extraordinary. And I'm humbled to my core to share the stage with him today. I've always felt beyond honored to even sit down with the men who have received this award in the past. Never mind, you know, sitting with them and socializing. But if I go through the names, I'm talking about people like Leo Stapleton. You just saw a list of them. Vinnie Dunn, John Norman, Mike Dugan, Alan Brunacini, Glenn Corbett, Bill Guston, and many more. And of course, my best bud, Chief Rick Lasky, who's up here with me, who I continue to travel with and teach and learn from every day. I call all these guys my friends. They're fantastic. They've been great mentors to me, and certainly most of what I've learned from them and many others. I've served for the past 46 years or so in the fire service in 4 different fire departments, a couple of volunteer departments, a couple of career departments. I'll correct Bobby Halton, which you don't get too often a chance to do. I am the past chief, the former chief, the ex-chief of the South Plymouth Grove Fire Department. That happened about 10 days, and yahoo about that, okay? If you're a volunteer fire chief, you know what I'm talking about. I started in the Mineola Fire Department out on Long Island, followed by my first career job in Titusville, Florida, and that was wonderful as well. I was hired by the FDNY in '79 and did 33 years. I retired as a battalion chief a few years ago, and as I just told you, I'm just finished up being chief of South Plymouth Grove as well. I have been fortunate to have worked in some of the most talented and professional firefighters anywhere, and I'm thankful for the efforts they put into my professional development. Just like the rest of you, we are, and we learn, and we become the people that we hang around with and learn from and work with. Whether you're on the job for 1 year or 30 years, we all have something to learn, and we all have something to teach. Training is the most important activity for every firefighter, every company officer, and every chief. Our training is not only important to us, but to every citizen for our respective communities. Our training defines us and has a direct impact on the level of service that we all provide to the people that depend on us. Train hard this week and bring back to your department and your community what you've learned here at FDIC. Again, thank you for this honor, and enjoy the conference, and God bless America.